In a place where snow and ice cover the horizon and the cold can paralyze your breath, there are roads where just one small mistake can cost you your life. Please share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next dramatic journeys. Lascars Pass, also known as Caca Pass, is considered one of the most interesting border crossings on the planet. It is located in the Andes Mountains, connecting Chile and Argentina. This road is nicknamed Snail Pass. The reason it is called so is because the road up and down is full of sharp turns like a spiral snail shell. The pass climbs up to about 3.2 kilometers above sea level. This is a height that makes many drivers both overwhelmed and scared when conquering it. The entire road is a series of extremely narrow and steep hairpin bends. There are no safety barriers on either side. Just one small mistake, and the car can plunge into the abyss. In winter, the pass is often completely closed. The reason? Too much snow and ice accumulates, making travel extremely dangerous. Even under the best of conditions, this place can feel extremely dangerous. So for many drivers, this place can only say one sentence: yes, no thanks. If Los Caracoles is scary because of its steep curves, the E69 highway is terrifying because of the ice and wind of the Arctic. The E69 motorway is known as the longest road in the world, seamlessly connecting to many of Europe's major international road networks. It is not just a road, but is considered the crown jewel of the entire region's motorway system. This road connects Old Air Bay all the way to the North Cape, the northernmost point of Norway. Thanks to that, the E69 becomes a unique gateway, helping people access far-flung lands at the ends of the continent. The E69 is designed to be open to traffic year-round, which is remarkable, given that it spans some of the most extreme climates on the planet. However, when winter comes, the situation becomes dire. Strong winds and heavy snow cover the entire route. The northern part of the Cape is often closed, as the danger level is too high for single cars. To overcome this treacherous stretch of road in winter, tourists and drivers can only join large convoys. These convoys are organized to ensure safety, because only by traveling together can one withstand the wind, ice, and heavy snow. James Bay Winter Road is one of the famous ice roads in Ontario, Canada. It was built to serve remote rural communities during the winter. During winter, many rural communities are inaccessible by regular roads. As a result, temporary ice roads are forced to be built to maintain traffic. These roads are formed on frozen waters. People take advantage of the buoyancy and thickness of the ice to create a solid surface for vehicles to move on. The road was made entirely of ice and was extremely slippery. Cars had to stop at a great distance, 3 times the usual distance. If one was not careful, an accident could happen in an instant. Drive slowly, turn carefully, always follow safety instructions. If done correctly, you should be able to clear this icy road without too much trouble. The D915 road in Turkey connects of Trabzon Black Sea coast to Bayburt, about 179 kilometers long, following steep mountains with many sections paved with gravel or concrete, becoming a big challenge for drivers. During World War I in 1916, The D915 road began construction when the Russians forced the locals to open access to the Turkish interior. Originally just 106 kilometers of hand-built gravel road in the snowy mountains, the route was later expanded to the 179 kilometers it is today. The most dangerous section of the D915 is 5 kilometers long over the Soganla Range. Only 1.5 lanes wide, with 29 steep, rocky turns without guardrails, where a small mistake can send one plummeting into a ravine. In winter, the D915 is closed for nearly half the year due to ice, snow, and landslides. And in summer, although passable, it is still risky with falling rocks, fog, and sudden rain. In 2019, a journalist was swept away by an avalanche on the D915. After 14 days of searching, his body was discovered about 1 kilometer from the scene. To conquer D915, choose a high-chassis vehicle with good tires, driven by someone familiar with mountain roads. Go during clear days. Bring all necessary equipment and absolutely avoid snow season. Leaving Turkey, we continue our journey to Canada to explore the Dempster Highway, a road leading straight into the Arctic wilderness. The Dempster Pass is a route from Klondike, Yukon, to Inuvik, Northwest Territories, providing direct access to the harsh Arctic. Before 1900, this land was inhabited by indigenous people. Then, during the gold rush of the early 20th century, the British government opened the Dawson City, Fort McPherson Dog Sled Line, later named after William Dempster. By 1958, surveys began, and in 1959 oil was discovered, making the need for road construction even more urgent. Although the project was interrupted in the 1,960 seconds due to funding disputes, Canada resumed construction in the 1,970 seconds to assert its Arctic sovereignty, and in 1979, the Dempster Highway was officially completed. The biggest challenge in building the Dempster was the risk of heat from the road surface melting the permafrost below, and the solution was to cover it with a layer of insulating gravel to keep the roadbed stable. Completed in 1979 after a journey from the gold rush to oil and gas demand, across permafrost and straight into the Arctic, where rocks, cold winds, and harsh winters make every trip a test of survival. Suggested shots for Dempster include a drone panorama of a frozen swamp with winding gravel strips, a point of view of gravel shooting onto glass with the wipers in constant motion, and an overlay map from the Klondike Highway to Inuvik, highlighting the Arctic. From the icy Canadian Arctic, the journey continues to take us to the Italian Dolomites to explore the haunting World War I Tunnel 52. On the Pasubio limestone mountain range in northern Italy, there exists a unique donkey route with 52 consecutive tunnels carved deep into the mountainside. During World War I, Tunnel 52 served as an Italian mountain defense and supply line, helping to move troops and ammunition to the front lines safely out of range of Austro-Hungarian artillery. Built by about 600 workers over 10 months and completed in November 1917, it initially served as a platform for mules and infantry to march safely under fire. There are a total of 52 tunnels cut through the rock, of which tunnel number 19 stands out with its spiral layout inside the stone tower. Many sections have a steep 12–22% slope, but are still wide enough for 2 donkeys and their luggage to pass through. Today, Tunnel 52 is dangerous in winter and is only accessible by foot in summer, but still carries the risk of falling rocks, dampness, darkness, and cold. When visiting Tunnel 52, visitors should prepare a flashlight or headlamp, good grip shoes, and warm clothes to cope with the dark and cold space. Choose a dry day, go in groups, and be careful at the tunnel doors as well as the wall edges. Possible shots include a flashlight angle scanning the wet cliff, a tilt-up in Tunnel 19 to see the spiral, a drone view of Pasubio and its trails, and a schematic view of the 52 tunnels. Today, it is open to hikers, but the steep slopes, falling rocks, and icy cold are reminders that the dangers of Pasubio have never gone away. The Sichuan-Tibet Highway connects Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan, to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet, and is known as one of the most dangerous yet majestic roads in Asia. The 2,200 kilometers long southern route has beautiful scenery but is dangerous, with many bends and high passes. Altitudes from 500 meters to over 4,000, 200 meters with risks of altitude sickness, landslides, and avalanches. Of the 2 routes, the southern route is the most dangerous due to the altitude and natural disasters, while the northern route is safer but still affected by ice and harsh climate. The highway was built from 1950 to 1954 at a tragic cost, with more than 1,000 workers killed, and it continues to claim lives every year to this day. Leaving the rugged Himalayas, we head into icy Siberia to explore the Kolyma Highway, Russia's infamous Road of Bones. The Kolyma Highway in Siberia stretches over 2,000 kilometers from Yakutsk to Magadan, passing through Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place with winter temperatures around 50 degrees Celsius. During the period 1932–1953, the Soviet Union built the Kolyma Highway on permafrost, with the efforts of more than 1 million Gulag prisoners, killing at least 130,000 people, and leaving behind the gruesome name Road of Bones. Today, the Kolyma Highway remains extremely dangerous. The conditions are cold, the road is long and lacks support services. Even the smallest mistake can cost a life, and the journey is still shrouded in the shadow of a painful history. The Kolyma Highway's history is still evident in the Gulag Museum in Moscow and the Mask of Sorrow statue in Magadan, although many local residents would rather forget that tragic chapter of the past. Leaving the icy Siberia, the journey continues into the Himalayas to explore the Karakoram Highway, the legendary road connecting Pakistan and China. The Karakoram Highway, about 1,300 kilometers long, connecting Pakistan with Xinjiang, China, is known as the highest paved international road in the world and was once part of the ancient Silk Road. Construction began in 1962, was completed in 1979, and officially opened, crossing rugged mountains with many sections over 4,500 meters high, of which Hunyarab Pass at nearly 4,900 meters is often blocked by ice and snow. Landslides are likely to occur in the rainy season and had to be closed for 3 years due to COVID-19 before reopening. Pakistan had intended to open a road through the Manaka Pass, But in 1966, China chose the Hunjarab Pass because it was steeper but strategically safer. Dubbed the eighth wonder of the world, the Karakoram Highway is enchanting with its mountains, glaciers, and surreal cliffs. Visitors should use 4x4 vehicles and be careful of altitude sickness, while the route is now safer thanks to developed tourism and checkpoints along the way. Leaving the eighth wonder Karakoram, we continue our journey to Zojila Pass, the most dangerous snow-covered road in the Himalayas. Located on the Himalayas, about 9 kilometers long and 3,500 meters high, connecting Kashmir with Ladakh, is a narrow one-lane road with many rocky sections, true to its name, Snowstorm Pass. This place is often buried in snow for half the year, making it almost paralyzed in winter. When clearing snow, vehicles still have to squeeze through high ice walls, making this remote place easily isolated by snowstorms. In 1948, during the First Kashmir War, Zojila was captured, but recaptured by India in Operation Bison, marking the highest altitude tank battle in history. Currently, tourists still use the old pass route, so they should hire a driver who is familiar with the road, pay attention to the altitude, and avoid stopping for long at high points to avoid lack of oxygen. The Antarctic Trail is more than 1,600 kilometers long, connecting the coastal McMurdo Station with the Amundsen Scott Station at the South Pole, crossing the coldest and most dangerous region on the planet. It served primarily as a transport aircraft, delivering about 280,000 liters of fuel and 9,100 kilograms of cargo to the Amundsen Scott Station each year, reducing the number of supply flights from 400 to just 75. Transport on the Antarctic Trail is done by specialized trailers and tracked vehicles, forming a mobile runway, with each trip taking about 25 days and an additional 10 days to unload. The most dangerous stretch from the Leverett Glacier to the Antarctic Plateau is the section from the Leverett Glacier to the Antarctic Plateau, where cracks more than 100 meters deep often appear that can swallow cars. In 2013, a convoy of tracked vehicles got stuck in a snowstorm and it took days to be rescued. In 2013, Maria Ligerstam risked riding a fat bike on part of the route to set a record. And in 2018, Colin O'Brady took it even further when he crossed Antarctica alone along this harsh route. The world's deepest freshwater lake. In winter, ice more than 1 meter thick turns the lake into a winter highway, connecting lakeside towns and allowing vehicles to travel dozens of kilometers on ice. Temperatures often fall below -30 degrees Celsius, accompanied by snowstorms and strong winds, making visibility almost zero. Drivers have to stick to the road signs, as even the slightest mistake can cause the wheels to skid and become stuck in the middle of the icy lake. In spring, the ice thins from the bottom up, creating weak sections that can collapse suddenly. Heavy trucks have fallen into the lake and been swallowed by the icy water in minutes. Many accidents have happened here. Cars got stuck in snowstorms, trucks carrying timber sank into the lake because of cracked ice, and locals say Lake Baikal has swallowed many reckless vehicles. In winter, Baikal appears surreal with crystal clear ice, but the more beautiful it is, the more dangerous it is because the ice is thin and fragile, majestic and dangerous. Do you think Siberia's icy Lake Baikal is worthy of the title of the world's most dangerous icy road? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We continue to the Manitoba, Saskatchewan winter roads in Canada, which are equally dangerous. In Canada, the winter roads in Manitoba and Saskatchewan are an important winter ice road network. Formed from frozen lake and river ice and compacted snow, the slippery surface is prone to cracking and requires frequent inspection. Drivers are required to maintain a strict speed limit, as speeding can cause the ice to crack and collapse. Temperatures drop to -40°C with strong winds and blizzards. Visibility is almost zero. Just a few meters off the road and the car can slide off the road and get stuck in the thick snow. Heavy trucks can crack the ice and collapse into the icy water. Holes can suddenly appear on glaciers that swallow wheels, while engine failures or getting stuck can force drivers to wait for hours in the cold. For remote residents, winter roads are a winter lifeline, both a hope for supplies and a potential danger. The white landscape is majestic, but contains life or death challenges that only seasoned drivers dare to face. Leaving Canada, the journey takes us to Yakutia ice roads in Russia, the most famous and harshest ice roads on the planet. Located in the frigid Siberian region, similar to the winter roads in Canada, it serves as a transportation artery for remote communities. Road surface deformed from river ice, lake ice, and compressed snow, the surface is slippery, prone to cracking, requiring constant inspection. Temperatures down to -50°C, along with snowstorms and strong winds causing zero visibility, many cars have had problems while passing through this place. Just one heavy truck is enough to cause the ice to crack, and in weak sections, sudden ice holes can open up, swallowing entire vehicles in an instant. For people in remote areas, this is a lifeline carrying necessities, but also a life and death journey between majestic ice and snow beauty and lurking danger. Next, we come to Ice Road on the Gulf of Bothnia, the dangerous but also extremely impressive ice road on the sea. Every winter, the Gulf of Bothnia between Sweden and Finland freezes, opening up an ice road connecting the island to the mainland, becoming an essential travel route for people. The road is made from natural sea ice, which looks flat but is fragile and can easily crack under heavy loads due to its unstable thickness. Cold winter winds turn the ice into a slippery trap, forcing drivers to drive at a precise speed, as even a little too fast can cause the ice to crack and collapse. On this route, cars can skid, get stuck in snow, or fall into ice holes unexpectedly, or even be submerged by freezing water in just a few minutes.
The road is melting.
Despite its danger, the ice road on the Gulf of Bothnia still fascinates with its white road crossing the sea, surrounded by majestic silence, a life and death journey that not everyone dares to experience. After Northern Europe, we head towards the South Pole of the Earth, McMurdo Ice Road, the most extreme runway on the planet. In Antarctica, McMurdo Ice Road is the only ice route connecting McMurdo Base with the port and South Pole Station, allowing heavy trucks to carry fuel, goods, and equipment to service the research stations. Formed on sea ice and glaciers, the surface is constantly shifting due to wind and snowstorms, with cracks, potholes, and soft snowmaking driving Temperatures dropped below -50 degrees Celsius. Freezing winds and blizzards reduced visibility to near zero, while the brittle ice under the wheels could collapse at any moment. The wild white landscape, where the sky and the ground merge, is beautiful but dangerous, and only strictly controlled convoys dare to pass through. Leaving the peaceful Gulf of Bothnia, we entered the winter road Attawapiskat, Saskatchewan, Fort Albany, where bitter cold and harsh snowstorms awaited. It was the only ice road connecting 3 James Bay communities, carrying food, fuel, and hope of survival through the harsh winter. The road, made of compressed snow and lake ice, looks strong, but is slippery and brittle. Just one overloaded truck is enough to crack the ice. Northern Ontario winters are below -40 degrees Celsius. Winds from James Bay and blizzards make visibility almost non-existent, forcing drivers to rely on landmarks and go very slowly. Vehicles here can easily slide off the road, get stuck in snow, or fall into cracked ice, and trucks have even sunk into the icy water. Despite its dangers, the winter road still exudes the wildness of northern Canada, with its snow-capped forests, silent glaciers, and gray skies. For Indigenous people, it is not just a supply line, but also a life-or-death journey in winter. Leaving northern Ontario, we arrive Prudhoe Bay Oilfield Ice Roads in Alaska, the ice route associated with the harsh oil and gas industry. Prudhoe Bay in northern Alaska, home to North America's largest oil field, built winter ice roads to allow heavy trucks to carry equipment and fuel to drilling rigs amid the ice. The ice roads at Prudhoe Bay are compressed from snow and ice on permafrost, and must be constantly reinforced because even a weak point could turn into a death trap. Temperatures regularly drop below -45 degrees Celsius, and strong Arctic winds cause poor visibility. In this extreme cold, engines can freeze, and even a minor accident can turn into a life-or-death disaster. Trucks carrying heavy loads are at constant risk of ice cracking, sinking, or sliding off the road. Some drivers say that if they drive too fast, the ice under their wheels can break off and swallow their vehicles. Despite its dangers, the Prudhoe Bay ice roads showcase the majestic Arctic landscape with its white snow and freezing winds, serving as both an economic route and a testament to human endurance in the face of harsh nature.
360 degrees.
Leaving icy Alaska, the journey continues to Europe with Haapsalu-Vormsi Ice Road in Estonia, the longest and most unique ice road in the Baltic region. The Haapsalu-Vormsi Ice Road in Estonia connects the mainland with the island of Vormsi, is the longest ice road in Europe, only open in winter when the sea freezes, replacing ferries and shortening the journey. The road forms on thick sea ice, which looks smooth but is fragile, constantly changing with wind, waves, and temperature. Estonian authorities require vehicles to maintain a steady speed without stopping or overtaking. Be quick and always keep your distance to avoid creating pressure that can crack the ice. Despite its danger, Haapsalu-Vormsi Ice Road offers a unique experience. Driving in the middle of a calm sea of ice, both exciting and nerve-wracking, attracting tourists to try it once.